So this is my presentation form of recording for you. So this is my topic. Main topic is how to deliver a good public speech. And sorry for my cough and longer breaks because I'm having a water supplies. So sorry for the technical issues. So let's start with deadly sins of speaking, which I find it really disturbing and not to follow. First of all is gossiping. Everyone and each of us found at least one or two people gossiping all the time in class, talking meanwhile you're talking, which is obviously disturbing. So if you see those kind of people talking, make a little bit of silence, do something awkward to catch their attention, or just like call out their names to show that it's wrong what they're doing. And also, as a presenter, don't gossip, don't talk to yourself. No one will then listen to you, and no one will pay more attention to what you're speaking. Your value of speech is dropping instantly. Then there is judging. As a presenter, your one of your sins is to judge people from their facial expression, which means you're starting to think, you start to wonder if you they like your presentation, if you look good, if you sound interesting. Then you start to wonder if what you're doing is nice, and what it, and your aim might be misled from your original idea. Then there is negativity. It means that as a presenter, you're not interested in a topic at all. You're not showing that you, you sh- you're not showing that you did any input to make a presentation. Also, it doesn't show that you're really into the topic, you don't like it, you're just showing it off to people, which also makes the audience uninterested in what you're even talking, although each topic can be presented with passion and good broad side of the topic. The fourth one is dogmatism. It's showing the very narrow point of certain topic, and and also you're unable to justify it, which kind of enforces the point of view on the audience, which is really hard to listen to the people due to the fact that uh, they don't have much choice to think over the topic, or they're just given very narrow information about it. So here you have four sins which you should not follow, which which in my opinion uh, should be completely forgotten in the public presentation. Then uh, I managed to find four fundamental, let's say, basics of presenting, which also make a word. And this word is hail. And I don't mean the hail which comes from the sky and hits you on the head, but the meaning of to greet or acclaim enthusiastically. Sorry for the misspelling. So, what do the letters stand for? H is for honesty, which means be clear. Be yourself during your speech and be true in what you're saying. Then there is authenticity. Be yourself. Act naturally. Don't try to become someone else. Be confident. Act as naturally as I said for you, and don't try to impress someone, because this this art takes really a lot of time and practice to master. Then there's I, and I stands for integrity, which means be aware. Do what you say. Be trustable. When you're more trustable and you sound more trustable, then your audience is more likely to listen to you, and they'll listen to you more eagerly. Then L stands for love, which is not the romantic love in this context, but in this context it means to wish other well. Be supportive towards each other as a member of the audience and as the presenter. Sorry. Then your voice is basically one big toolbox, which I consider have few few very valuable tools that you can use and master during your free time before public speech, a presentation, a wedding speech, whatever the occasion is. The first is temper. The temper of the voice is very important because you can also modulate your voice, which the sound can come more from nose, and which you probably can see. Obviously, I'm not a master of it, but if you go deeper, more into the chest area, the sound source is deeper, and obviously the depth is subconsciously considered with power. And if we think of power, we choose politicians, presidents, mostly by the depth of the voice, because we consider it as a power. Then there's a pace, which is very valuable skill to master, because you can speak really really fast to make someone really speak. I mean, not speak but listen. But then your speech is kind of unclear. No one can focus on the words exactly. But then also you can slow down to emphasize each word like it's really valuable. Then there's pitch, which is basically loudness of how you speak. You can speak really loudly, so people will hear you really clearly, but you can also speak really silent, so you'll start to focus on my words. Then there's our old friend silence. It's always, let's say, okay to feel the ums and ams with a little bit of silence. It's nothing wrong with it. Mostly people can do it if you want to catch someone's attention and value their words, which also can be used, as I said, for emphasizing important words and catching the attention if it's really needed. Obviously, it's important for you to warm up your voice just as your muscles before you go for a workout, and it's obviously needed when you're doing a public speech, something really important. I hope you know the TED Talks, because this is the organization of just briefly speaking about giving ideas, spreading the nice, nice and innovative ideas on the world. So now I'll play you a very short clip of a man from a TED showing how to, let's say, properly warm up your voice.
Actually, let me show you how to do that. Would you all like to stand up for a moment? I'm going to show you the 6 vocal warm-up exercises that I do before every talk I ever do. Anytime you're going to talk to anybody important, do these. First, arms up. Deep breath in and sigh out. Like that. One more time. Very good. Now we're going to warm up our lips, and we're going to go bop, 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 bop. Very good. And now, just like when you were a kid. Now your lips should be coming alive. We're going to do the tongue next with exaggerated la, 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 la. Beautiful. You're getting really good at this. And then roll an R. That's like champagne for the tongue. Finally, and if I can only do one, the pros call this the siren. It's really good. It starts with we and goes to or. The we is high, the or is low. So you go wee, oh, wee. Fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause. Take a seat. Thank you. Next time you speak, do those in advance.
So I hope you find this man pretty nice, and you'll take a note from him how to warm up your voice. Then there is also an important issue to talk about is your behavior during the presentation. Mind your posture. It's really important to how you look as a presenter. Don't take weird positions. Be straight. Your voice will become much clearer and louder, and it will be easier to understand while you stand straight, not while you're making some weird positions. Also, there are mainly there are main two kind of poses, which are closed and opened. Also, in Animal Kingdom, where there can be found closed and open poses, which open poses in this case, as you can see, a gorilla and a snake, show the power and the dominance for against the rival. But in the case of the presenter, it shows that you're trustable, you're confident in what you're doing, and it will be easier for you to spread the message across the audience that you have. They will more trust you. While we don't feel powerless, let's say, as a speaker, we do completely opposite. Animals do too. They close up. We try to occupy much less space than, let's say, we can, and we naturally will speak more quiet, and then it will be harder for you to to follow the, let's say, being a good presenter, because then you start to judge people that you're not interesting, then you close up, you think that your presentation sucks. So be open, feel powerful, don't mind people even judging you, because everyone at some point is judging you for a presentation, even though they, let's say, might not intend to. Your gestures during the presentation. It's really important, because when you stand still, obviously I cannot show you that because I don't have the webcam turned on, but imagine just a person standing still talking to class, like basically doing nothing. Just, it's really hard to listen to this kind of person, because you see that although he might prepare a good presentation, he's not really into what he's saying. But also remember not to overdo the gestures, because when you overdo it, which means that you do too much of it, it just distracts really the audience, because then the eye and the focus of your potential audience is mostly focusing on your gestures, which is probably doing some weird circles with your hand or some other stuff, and they start to wonder, why the hell are you doing this? So, do's and don'ts for the presentation issues is sorry again for the cough, probably hear it well because of my mic. So don't make yourself small, it will affect your mood, probably over the presentation. You will feel small. I I guess, bad, and then you will, let's say, feel that everyone is not listening to you. Just open up, be yourself, and be confident. Due to the fact that you will feel greater, you will feel more, let's say, eager to present what you're presenting, and more people will start to listen to you as they see you're really into the topic. As I said before, with the poses, open and closed, the body can really influence the mind, and the mind can influence the body, which this statement means that whatever you're doing, the both, let's say, the mind and the body can influence each other. So if you're so while your body expression is closing up, probably sooner or later it will affect your mood, as you will feel being judged. As I said before, you will feel smaller, not powerful, not as eager to present everything. And while you're being opened up, you will feel that the stage is yours, that you can make people listen to you. That's why it's important to do, let's say, the open pose, which means like feel free to occupy more space as your body reaches out, due to the fact that you will just feel better during the presentation. It's obviously, for each of us, it takes different amount of time. So I hope you um, this I hope you caught something from the presentation and from the video, and you got some tips for your strategy for the future presentations. And be optimistic, confident, opened up. Just remember to don't think about your failure, that you're not interested. People who are not interested will just like don't listen to you, whatever you're talking about. But mostly mostly focus on those kind of people who are actually listening to you. And I want to finish off with a TED Talk. This TED Talk I'll just uh, send you a link, because this is kind of long one, so I'll not take time to play it on this video. I'll just send a link to the website for you so you can watch by yourself. Thanks for watching, I believe.